10 years, I actually went to a DCPS school. So I went to Lafayette Elementary and I went to Deal and I went to what was called Wilson and now is proudly called Jackson Reed. So I'm also an alumni. So this type of activity that we're doing with you today really means a lot because I know that when I was younger, I didn't get a chance to have conversations like this. So again, really happy that you guys can take time to share with us a little bit more about how you're feeling around what's working at your school and what you would want us to prioritize for this year. So we're going to dive right in. I'm going to have Chancellor Farabee hop on, and I think we may have one or two other leaders too. We want to make sure that everyone has a chance to introduce ourselves before our most important folks introduce themselves, which is you guys. So Chancellor Farabee.
Good afternoon again. Thank you to all of the DCPS team members who serve with me in central services that are also listening in to hear directly from you. As middle school students in DC Public Schools, we believe that you are an important voice in how we should shape our budget for schools. And we talk about budget, we're talking about the resources, either that being staff or opportunities that you may want or need and want us to think about and consider. So the goals for today is to discuss priorities for resources for budgets for schools. And we understand that you or your school may have unique needs, which is why it's important that we hear from everyone today. I also briefly are going to share a little bit about the budget development process and the timeline in our engagement. So you'll get a chance to see how I'm not only talking with you, but others as well. And then we'll get a chance to hear directly from you. And we'll get a chance to hear from middle school students across DCPS, across all 8 wards and schools. So we're excited that you joined us today, and we're looking forward to hearing from you. We go to the next slide. We're now going to enter into the phase of getting to know you. So this is your opportunity to introduce yourself. And we would ask that you just please give us your name, your grade that you're in, and then a word that describes your school year thus far. So again, I'll give you an example of how we want that to flow. My name is Chancellor Lewis Farabee. I am on the Central Services team, and a word that describes my year thus far is exciting. So that's how we would want you to introduce yourself in school. So I'm going to turn to the facilitators and ask that they call each school. And we're going to start with, let's start with Deal Middle School, and then we'll have our facilitators identify the following schools for people to introduce themselves in their grade and the word. So Deal, are you ready?
Yeah. Yes.
All right, let's roll.
Okay, my name is Nebe. I'm in 8th grade, and one word that describes my year so far, is different.
My name is Adrian. I'm also in 8th grade, and I would use interesting to describe my year so far.
Next, can we have Brookland?
Hello, my name is Tori. I am in the 8th grade, and one word that describes my year so far is exciting.
Hello, my name is Adisa Morton Bay. I'm in the 7th grade, and one word that describes my year so far is interesting.
Thank you. Can we have Brown, and then after Brown will be Capitol Hill Montessori? So Brown first.
Hi, my name is Merve. I'm in the 8th grade, and my youth is kind.
My name is Zion. I'm in the 6th grade, and my year been good. My name is Mar, and I'm in 6th grade, and my year been good. So.
Wait, Zion, what was your word again? I couldn't hear.
My word was great.
Great. All right. Awesome. Thank you.
Next, can we have Capitol Hill Montessori?
Hi, my name is Sing Tong. I think my year has been a little conflicted. Person?
My name is Matthew. I'm in the 7th grade, and my year has been surprising.
Surprising. Okay.
Thank you. Can we have Cardozo Education Campus?
My name is Malia. I'm in the 7th grade, and one word to describe my year is confusing. I'm Charles. I'm also in the 7th grade, and one word to describe my year has been chaotic.
Next, can we have Columbia Heights Education Campus?
My name is Travis. I'm in the 6th grade, and one word to describe my year is different. My name is Naria. I am also in the 6th grade. One word to describe my year so far is new.
Next, can we have Elliott High Middle School?
My name is Jay, and my year has been energetic so far, and I'm in 8th grade.
My name is Taylor. I'm in 8th grade, and one word to describe my year is joyful.
Next, Excel Academy.
Hello, my name is Kia. I'm in the 8th grade, and one word to describe this year so far is exciting. I'm Zoe, and I'm in the 8th grade also, and a word to describe my year so far is challenging.
And then next, Hardy Middle School.
Hi, my name is Nare. I'm in 8th grade. My word for this year would be hopeful.
Right. Is there anyone else from your school? Perfect. Okay. Next, Hart.
My name is Isis. I'm in the 8th grade. And if I were to describe this year, I would say it's been active.
Anyone else from Hart?
My name is Xavier, and one word I will use to describe this year is anticipating.
Thank you. Did Ida B. Wells end up joining?
Good afternoon. We are here.
Perfect. If you can share your name, grade, and then one word just that describes your year so far.
My name is William, and I'm on 6th grade.
And what's one word that describes your year so far?
That I'm doing my best.
Awesome. Thank you. Anyone else from Ida, or is it just?
It's just William today.
Just William. Thank you. Did Jefferson join?
Yep, we're here. Good afternoon, everyone. Go ahead, Sensi.
My name is Sensi. I'm in the 7th grade, and for me this year has been fair.
My name is Amari Wilson, and I am in the 7th grade also, and I would say that this year was interesting.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. Next, Johnson.
My name is Chris, and I'm in the 7th grade, and one word I would describe my year is excellent.
My name is India. I'm in the 6th grade, and one word I would use to describe my year so far is extraordinary.
Thank you. Can we have Kelly Miller?
Hi, my name is Walter. I'm in the 8th grade, and one I would use to describe my year is productive.
Hi, my name is Keziah. I'm in the 8th grade. One word that describes my year so far is hard.
Thank you. Next is Kramer.
My name is Zion Stewart. I'm in the 8th grade.
And one word is to describe my year is thrilling.
I'm also in the 8th grade. My name is Jawan Bacon, and my word is surprisingly good.
My name is Heaven. I'm also in the 8th grade. My word to describe my year is adventures.
My name is Makai Baker. I'm in the 7th grade. One word I could use to describe this year is good.
Awesome, thank you. Next is McFarland.
Hello, my name is Edwin. I'm in the 8th grade, and one word that represents my year is exhilarating.
My name is Isabel. My grade is 8th grade, and a word to describe my year is rigorous.
My name is Naraya. I'm in the 8th grade. One word that would describe my year is exciting.
Thank you. Next is McKinley Middle School.
Hi, my name is Corinne Williams. I'm in the 6th grade, and one word that would describe my year is interesting.
Hello, my name is Leonzo MacArthur. My grade level is seventh. And one year I can use to describe my school year would be exciting.
My name is Michaela, and I'm in the 8th grade. And one word to describe my school year is fast.
Next is Oyster Adams.
Hi, my name is Dylan. I'm in the 8th grade, and one word to describe my year has been pleasant.
Hi, my name is Theo. I'm in 7th grade, and one word to describe my year is scintillating.
And School Without Walls.
Good afternoon. My name is Milo, and one word to describe my year is hopeful.
My name is David. I'm in 8th grade, and a word that describes my year will be fun.
Sousa Middle School.
My name is Charles Hill, and one word that would describe my year is excellent.
My name is Donovan Crossland. I'm in the 8th, and one word to describe my year is excited.
Stuart Hobson.
Hi, my name is Amber. I'm in 8th grade, and one word to describe my year would be productive.
Hi, I'm Jacob. I'm in the 8th grade, and one word to describe my year is improvement.
Next is Walker Jones.
My name is Caleb in 7th grade, and my year was good.
My name is Richard, and I'm in the 8th grade. And the one word to describe my year would be immaculate.
And then Wheatley Education Campus.
My name is Alicia. I'm in 7th grade. One word to describe my year is good.
My name is Tamara, and I'm in 6th grade. And one way to describe my year is fun.
Thank you, everyone. Did I miss any schools?
Not that I saw.
Perfect. Sarah, do you want to help call on a couple of the staff members? I can start and then turn it over to you. And then,
Yeah.
So I'm Jerry, part of Essential Services, and one word to describe this year so far is enlightening.
All right, I'll go and then I'll pass it along too, based off the chat. So Sarah Parker, grade 46 years old. And my year is busy. I will pass it on to, I believe Laura is here.
Hi. Yes, my name is Laura Cochran. Love school, not actively in school right now. And one word to describe the year so far is growth. And I will pass to Simone.
Hi, everyone. My name is Simone. I'm also on the Central Services team, school finance, no longer in school. And one word to describe my year so far is ever changing. I will pass it to Claudette.
Hi, I'm Claudette. Sorry, I'm a bit under the weather, but I would say excelente, which means excellent.
And I think Superintendent Hughes, I know you're here, and that might be it on staff.
Yep. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Harry Hughes. I am the instructional superintendent for Cluster 7. So boys and girls, ask your principal if they're in Cluster 7. And if they answer yes, then I am their supervisor. And one word I would use to describe this year has been joyful.
Nice. Are there any other staff members before we turn it back over to the chancellor? All right. All right. So chancellor, we'll cover a few slides before we get to the questions.
Thank you again, everyone, for sharing your name, your words. It's an interesting vocabulary, but great to get to know you a little bit better and know who's on the meeting today. And so just wanted to give you a refresher on what's included in the DCPS budget and what the process is. So every school receives money based on students in their building. And it starts with the number of students in the building. And a dollar amount is assigned to each student. So that's the enrollment portion of the budget. And then there's additional dollars that we provide per student based on needs. So it could be for special things like learning the English language or receiving special education services. And then the final layer is stability, ensuring that each year, year over year, your schools have the appropriate resources and staff to support you. That could be your counselors, assistant principals, social workers, school nurses, everybody that provides the supports to you on a daily basis. You go to the next slide, I'm going to highlight a little bit more about what this means for schools. What this means for schools is that you, your family, and your parents and guardians can see exactly how your school is being budgeted for with great transparency. It also gives your principal and the leaders in your school the opportunity to have flexible resources to meet your needs. And then we expect the school leaders in your schools to align the budget with what your needs are. And again, today's discussion was centered around hearing what are some of the things that you think we need to consider as it relates to your needs. We go to the next slide. I want to highlight for you a little bit more of what our timeline looks like. And so right now we're in the first phase, which is listening and learning, and we call that engagement. And that will take place between the months of November and December, and we'll close that out as we close for the year and prepare to enter into year 2023. In 2023, when we start our year again, we will begin with conversation with your school leadership team and what we call the local school advisory team, also known as the LSAT. And we'll have an additional community engagement budget options, and then your school will receive their budget. Once your school receives the budget, they will then finalize that budget and submit it for final approval. And then the resources will then be allocated to your school for next school year. Go to the next slide. I want to highlight for you the questions that we want you to be responsive to get to know you again a little bit more, but also to understand what you believe are the needs for middle school students and students across DCPS. The first question is, what do you think the top 2 to 3 priorities would be for your school, according to you and your classmates? What ideas might you have in mind in terms of funding for student needs? And then, are there any new things you think we should prioritize for the DCPS budget? So again, what would you want me to know or consider as we think about new ideas for students in middle school and across DCPS? And so we're going to leave these questions up for a minute or so, and we want you to be thinking about these questions. And then I'm going to turn it over to our facilitators who are going to organize an opportunity for you to share your responses to either one or multiple responses to these questions. We ask that though you think deeply about what you want your response to be, as we want to hear from everyone here that's on the meeting. So I'll stop there to see if there's any questions that you might have before we go forward. Okay, I think we're ready to go.
All right. All right, so as Jerry mentioned in the beginning, everyone, we're going to try to get through all 3 questions, but we also want to acknowledge that there might be some really good conversation happening. So we'll be flexible as well. So we're just going to ask that as you think about these questions and you're interested in speaking up, again, we really want to hear from everyone throughout the day, but we don't necessarily have to hear from every school on every question. But when you're moved, when you want to share, go ahead and just put your hand raise up. Okay, so that way we can kind of call on people. And if we don't hear from certain schools, we might do like your teachers do and call on you and ask you to speak up. But I know you have some really good ideas. So let's get started with the first question. Who has some thoughts first on this sort of top budget priorities if you had to ask some of your friends and classmates? All right, I first saw, I think our, oh, maybe they put it down. All right, I thought I saw Kramer friends. So let's go ahead with, oh yeah, I see they're back. So they're the first school I saw. So let's go with Kramer first.
I think one budget priority is transportation and protection, because too many young kids are dying in this generation to violence from being in the wrong place at the wrong time. Nothing else to say.
I feel like more materials for kids. That's so kids could think this is not the regular Southeast school. They could protect it in curriculum.
That would be it.
Okay, thank you guys.
Thank you.
Chancellor, Superintendent Hughes, feel free, of course, like to always hop in if you have any questions, especially around like the transportation one. All right, thank you all. Let's go ahead this down the line. I think we have friends from Cap Hill Montessori.
Hi, okay, so I think we should add professional development there to help with classroom management and also help teachers be just better teachers in general. That's it.
Right, thanks guys.
Thank you.
Right. Yeah, really good ideas here. Oh, all right, how about the folks with the computer? It's Allison, I believe, Gay Howard. I'm not sure which school that is.
It's McKinley.
Oh, okay.
So I put that I feel like we should put the money on events, school supplies, and school uniforms, because for the events, I feel like students would love to get a break from school sometimes and actually have fun at school for once. And like students love field trips and parties and stuff, and to have it at school is even better, because that way not only are you taking a break from learning and stuff, but you're having fun doing it. And then for the school supplies, some students can afford to bring school supplies or backpacks to school. So I feel like it should, all schools should have school supplies for students who don't have any and who can help with that. And then for the school uniforms, it's the same thing for the school supplies. They might not be able to purchase or order any school uniforms. So I feel like our school, we have uniforms so that some students who are out of uniform or need a uniform, they can ask the teachers for it because they have uniform. And it helps the students so that they are ready for school.
I think we should spend I think our priority budget should be technology, programs, and sports.
Great.
Thank you.
I
Someone
think
mentioned events. Does anybody want to build on that a little bit? Like what type of events we should be thinking about?
Oh, like field trips or parties or just, like celebrations for students who have accomplished something during school time, or like just something to get their minds off of school for a little bit so that they can have a rest.
Got it. Okay, thank you.
All right, great. Thank you,
We have
McKinley.
one.
Cardozo's next, I believe.
All right, I'm Charles. One thing I think that we should prioritize is security, and another would be supplies. Securities, I say for there's a lot of fights that break out here. Not all of them are very big fights, most of them are usually small ones. And for supplies, like if I get that some teachers would expect us to bring our own supplies, but I feel like at least for like classes that you need a lot of supplies for, they should provide you with at least some of it.
Great. All right. Great feedback, guys. All right, I think Czech is next.
So I think like we should, because at recess everyone's like playing so much, and so when they come inside they're all like trying to line up and try to get water, but the water fountains don't work. So I think we should like try to like have money for the water fountains. Also the people like the students at our school, they also like we all usually do somewhat good on our tests, and so they want to go on field trips as a reward.
That's great.
Thank you.
Also, for equipment, gym, we only have like basketballs and stuff. I think it'd be fun or educational to like work on strength and have like rock climbs and stuff.
That's really good feedback. Thank you. All right, School Without Walls.
One budget priority would be student safety. Bringing back our school resource officers. A lot of things happen in a day, and our administration must address it. We had a school resource officer, but they took him away.
Also, school facility upgrades, for example, water fountains, bathrooms, locker rooms, lockers, technology for classrooms.
And academics also. Money to hire staff, companies, tutor students, reading books, education, EL, population needs, technology to support translation needs for students.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
You guys did a great job.
Yeah.
To answer any
And
questions.
to be clear, I wish we had members of the DC Council listening in because the decision on school resource officers was actually a decision from the DC Council, but we appreciate the feedback.
Yeah. Thank you, Chancellor. I think Hardy is next.
Yes, a few things I think we should prioritize are, first of all, staff members. I feel like there's less and less staff members with every year, which really creates some chaos. And to prevent the chaos, we are forced to stay or like have less locker room time or have less hallway time. Another thing I also think is that like teachers and how much they're paid, and also the resources the teachers get, because very often teachers spend a lot of money to get materials that students don't have. So I feel like the DCPS program should give the materials to the teachers so they can give it to the students who need it. And also electives, I feel like this year in my school, we're lacking a lot of electives. Some of them have been moved to be during advisory times. Some of them are simply not here at all, like visual arts. I think they're going to come back someone in the next term, but I'm not quite sure about that. And yes, those are some things I think we should really focus on.
Thank you. Well, you should know the good news is we recently reached an agreement to raise teacher salaries, which is great. And we also have agreed to increase the money that teachers have to buy resources, and that money will be available for teachers for next school year. But thank you for the feedback.
All right, our friends from Johnson.
I think Johnson would need a football field because we're a very talented team. And I also think we deserve more field trips because so we can have fun outside of school.
I think we need like technology, like computers that we can take home because sometimes my work is not accessible from my computer at home. And I think we need more food choices because sometimes the food is good, but like it's basic, having the same thing over and over again.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Where do most of you play now? Football to the first student.
On a baseball field.
Baseball field. Okay.
But you're right, you do have a good team. Congratulations on
Yeah.
the season.
I've seen you all being recruited by a bunch of high schools, so that's exciting. Thanks for the feedback also on technology. The computer with and sorry if I mispronounce this, Tara Galloway. I'm not sure which school that is.
It's McFarland.
That's McFarland?
Yes.
Okay, great.
So I think one of our budget priorities is for supplies. So right now we're having so we have a paper shortage, and teachers are going out of their pockets to buy paper for printers or for work. And we think that we should have more supplies in the school.
And what school again?
McFarland.
McFarland. Superintendent Hughes, can we check on this paper issue? That may be something we can fix now.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I think that we should prioritize more after school programming, like more money for after school programming, because we don't really have a lot of extracurricular activities, and having extracurricular activities can really help students like get prepared for high school and like what they want to do in high school.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right. The next one is Hart Middle School.
Okay. So I think the priorities we should have is having more coaches for our football teams, having more resources being paid for, and having more after school activities. The coaches situation is that I've noticed that for our soccer team, we had reading coaches, like we had reading teachers and librarians teaching the soccer team instead of licensed coaches. And I think that it really brought down the performance of the team in the long run. And for the after school activities, I feel that we don't have enough. We only have after school tutoring and sports when we should be having different clubs. Like we could have like new clubs like chess clubs, or we could have like clubs where you go do community service, stuff like that. And then I also think for our resources, since a lot of our computers are being broken down and people are like writing on the computers and they're really expensive. I feel like we should have more backups, and we also have to fix a lot of our computer carts because they keep like the wheels are falling off, the handles are falling off, and they're in really low maintenance. So I just feel like all of that should be fixed.
Thank you. And just so you know that there are no licensure for coaches, so um, there aren't any prerequisites. It's based on individual interests and staff and what they would like to coach. But I appreciate the feedback.
Yep. All right, I think Walker Jones is next, and I put in the chat. We'll take a few more. We're going to go for maybe 5 more minutes on this question, so be thinking about the next 2 questions.
Well, I think that we should have more exposure trips and esports because if we go on an exposure trip, it can probably like give us more like experience and opportunities on things we could probably see that we want to do, and like we could have an esport game, like an esport tournament with other schools. It might make people want to come to school more often and stuff, and hang out after school. Thank you.
Thank you.
Great idea around esports. Eastern has started a really good program, and I'm really impressed with that. So just a plug around what's happening at Eastern. All right, I see a few folks who want to comment. So Stuart Hobson, we'll go to you next.
I think mental health days and team building projects, certain days out of the month with students would be helpful, and having programs come to the schools to promote wellness among students. Also having a more broad cuisine for lunch would be helpful. So like lunches from different countries and stuff, like pescatarian, vegan options would be helpful too.
I think a good option would be like allotting days to do shadows for high schools. Also renovating the like bathroom and getting better resources. Are we stuck on this question or can we answer like another one?
You could chat for a second about another one,
Yeah,
but I
'cause
do want to
I
make
just
sure
have,
we've just.
I have something for like a new thing for our school.
Okay, cool. Yeah, go ahead.
So this is I think specifically for our school because I know I had it in elementary school and it was really fun and all my peers liked it, and that's food prints, and that was really enjoyable for us. It was a good like mental health day to take stuff off, and if we could even have that like at least twice a month or something, I think it would be really good for students.
That's good feedback, even in the secondary, middle and high school. That's good to know. All right, 1 or 2 more. I see some in the comments. So Excel.
Hi, I feel as though from a student perspective, school supplies should be acquainted for teachers and students, so the teachers wouldn't have to pay out of their own pockets for supplies that they need. And also, they need more advanced classes and more staff to provide more opportunities for students. Another subject that was brought up to my attention is upgrades towards the building to include a basketball gym, a workout gym, a computer lab, better tech connection throughout the building, and funds towards after school activities.
All right, great.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. All right, I think there was another one who wanted to go. Who's the next one? Kelly Miller. Yeah, we gotta, oh yeah.
Hello.
Yep.
I said the 2 budget priorities I chose were technology and school supplies because some students are not able to afford things like pencils, paper, binders, folders, any of that. So I feel like we should use the school budget to be able to provide school supplies for those students who are not able to get it themselves. And I also said technology because the technology here at Kelly Miller, like some of the computers do not have keyboards or like chargers, and they die really fast. Not only that, some of the apps that we use, they require actual keyboard and that touch screen. So yeah, I say technology and school supplies are our two top budget priorities.
All right, great. I'm trying to think about, so Jerry, we have a list of schools that didn't go this time. Brown, why don't you go? And then I think we just have a few others, so we could take the rest. I think the second question is shorter. So Brown, if you guys want to go next.
All right, I think we should have a budget priority because we would also like to need new computers, because when a computer breaks, we can't get another one, and also like some school supplies, sports, and like tutoring, because some of our classmates are like not doing good, so we need to keep it up. And that's it.
Thank you.
Yeah, are there any sports that you're really interested in that you feel like you don't have?
We already got a good. Soccer, football, and basketball.
We already have
basketball.
Right.
On it.
All right. Thank you, guys. All right, deal.
Yeah, we believe that having some extra student engagement in what we're currently learning. So for example, if we're learning right now in history, American history, we could have mini field trips in the area about what we're learning, and that would increase student engagement, and seems like something and it's something that I think I would really like.
We also think that we should have maintenance for our computers, or just like for our school in general, because as someone already said, when we have computers and they break down, there's like no other computers that we can use, so that they have to use a computer with another person or do their work on paper, which can like mess up what we're trying to do in class.
Great. All right, what about Wheatley? Thank you, guys. And then we'll have Jefferson. And that's it.
We think that we should have better plumbing because there's no hot water in the bathroom. And like we should upgrade the bathroom because the stalls are like broken, or they do not have locks, or locks don't work.
Mm-hmm. That's Wheatley. We will take note. Thank you very much. Every school can put in work orders, they're called, to address some of these facility questions that you guys are bringing up. So we're taking notes, and we'll try to follow up to make sure some of these things are addressed on the facility side. That's your building. All right, and then I think we have Jefferson. And we'll do one more after that with Brooklyn, and then I thought Brooklyn went, but Jefferson?
I believe that we should spend more money on materials in general, because some of our students in our classes ask for pencils, and due to the lack of money spent on materials, we don't have enough pencils. And I also believe that lunch should be better, because like not many people eat lunch, because like it isn't really like good compared to other schools. And in my opinion, I think that we should spend more money on that in order to feed more students that might not have enough like food at home.
Mm-hmm. Great. All right, thank you guys. And then I think the final one here is Brooklyn. I saw one request for that.
I think our top budget priorities should be towards field trips and activities because we should have more field trips towards like colleges and high schools students wants to go to, and so they can see like what they're working with, if they like it or not. And yeah.
Okay. One of my top two to three budget priorities would definitely be extracurricular, making sure that we add extra funding for extracurricular classes because I would say that some students aren't getting the exact amount of education that they need. And then one other thing would be lunches because like the school before said, I don't think our lunch compares great to other schools that might be in DCPS.
Thank you, guys. To the point around lunch, everyone is being served pretty similar lunch. There's one or two schools that might have a different what's called a vendor, so someone that provides the lunch, but everyone is using pretty much the same. So everyone is experiencing this. But thank you guys. We have heard that before about lunch, and I think the team is really trying to work hard to make some improvements around that. All right, heard lots on sports and field trips and other activities. So really good feedback. Supplies. Again, we're taking notes and we're taking the chat. So we may not get to everyone for every question. So feel free to put some stuff in the chat too. I do want to move on to question number 2. This one we may not spend quite as long on, but one thing the Chancellor mentioned earlier is that we really do try to think about what each and every one of you need. Everyone is not the same. Everyone is not learning the same. Everyone is, doesn't come from the same background. Everyone has different experiences. And so when we think about budgeting and we budget for different needs for different students, what does that idea mean to you? We'll go ahead and take a few here, spend about 10 minutes on this one. All right, so I'm seeing some come in. I'm not sure if some are from the last time either. So I think I saw maybe, was it the Cardozo students? Did you guys have a quick comment on this one? Or was that the last one? Okay, you guys went off, so it must have been the last one. All right, so Czech students.
So I think like the school receiving like funding based on students' needs means like the students like complaints are taken into account and the DCPS will like send funding to the schools based on those like needs.
All right, great. Okay. How about Excel?
What this idea means to me is the students' needs and wants will matter more. They'll have a voice on what activities they want to do or what supplies they'll need for the subject classes or clubs. Meaning, as of right now, the activities that we are given don't have enough funding to go towards them. Or activities that we want to have at Excel, we don't have enough funding for. And the activities that we already have now, we might not have enough money for the uniforms like basketball, dance, cheer, etc. that are going on right now.
All right, great. All right, how about students from Hardy?
So a few things I think that students really need is some sort of tutoring after school classes, perhaps, for students who are having a hard time in the actual class or need some additional help, or perhaps they have been sick and now they're coming back and they're falling behind. It'd be very nice to have some sort of extra time with either the teacher or some other teacher who could help with the same things. And also with classes, for example, classes for students who don't speak English very well or who just need help with like students in need. I think we should have in between classes for students who are not very good to be on their own, but not at the same level as some other students. So some in between class transitioning from the original helping class to the actual class.
I love that. In between classes. I love that. First, I thought you meant like in between school and after
No.
school, which is like
In between.
also a thing sometimes for your age, right? Maybe not for high schoolers, but like sort of a, you know, if you're kind of intermediate, right? Like you're
Yes.
maybe not advanced, but
that would make you transition from an intermediate to into like something more.
All right, great. All right, School Without Walls.
We agree that students who need the funding to help them will be able to compete with other schools that are doing well right now. For example, people that right now are not doing well in this school, if they get the appropriate help, they could be able to even compete with schools that are doing actually good.
I think all of your schools are doing good, guys. So you all go to wonderful schools and you're good students. All right. How about, what's the next one? Brookland. All right. Let's go on to McKinley.
So to me, I feel like it means to help with students' needs so they're ready to go to school and learn. And I feel like if we're not ready to learn, then it's gonna affect how we act in school. Because I feel like something that's happening at home might affect us at school, and it might give us like this rage or attitude that we don't want to do anything. And I feel like we need things to help us get ready for school and help us relax and chill.
Thank you. I like that. Let's go to Elliot Hine because we didn't hear from you guys last time.
I think this means to me that like students will need like more tutors so that like they could like graduate and move on to high school, because sometimes the teacher's not able to get around to everyone. Or maybe people are just nervous to ask for help.
All right, great. All right, let's go back up. I'm gonna only do like 3 more on this question because I want to hear about the really new ideas like you guys have. So let's do Stuart Hobson, just randomly choosing.
I think taking college tours for 8th graders would be helpful. I know they do it in high school, but I feel like if the students would be able to see the experience at a younger age, it will also be helpful for those students to talk to college students and like program leaders so they can see what it's like to be in that position.
Another new thing is it would be cool to have microwaves in the cafeteria for students who bring lunch. It's something that was at the McKinley Tech open house, and I think it would be efficient.
Yep. My son's schools call those heat ups. You bring a heat up. You can heat it up that day. Thank you guys.
Thank you. I hadn't heard that one before.
Yeah. All right, let's do 2 more. Kelly Miller and then Jefferson, and we'll go on to the final question, and then we'll take 1 or 2 other questions. Kelly Miller.
Okay, to me, this idea means that the students' needs should be our top priority, and whatever they need, we should use the budget to get for their needs for class and etc.
That's right. And everyone has different needs, right, guys? All right, and so what about the final one with Jefferson?
I believe this idea about student needs means that every student receives equity and equality.
Right. Thank you guys. Really good comments, really thought-provoking ideas here. So let's spend about 10 or so minutes on this last one. New things. We already had some really great new ideas from our student at Stuart Hobson. If you were the chancellor and you could wave a magic wand and you could think of one new thing, and it could be something you already mentioned, but lift up one new thing and we'll try to see how many folks we can get through. So we'll go ahead and start with Capitol Hill Montessori.
I would
Or
say
was
like I would say like some new courses.
Okay. Any ideas? Like new classes? Think bold, you can think big. Nope. All right, guys, I'm gonna move on. If you get any more ideas, pop them in the chat. All right, let's go to our Kramer students.
I think we should prioritize like goals for students to help them succeed, like activities, like field trips, like something to grasp the student mind to make them want to succeed through middle school.
And to have more motivation to come to school. Some of that motivation from schools.
What would that be for you? Like what would get you every morning when you wake up to come to school?
Like say like after school activity, like say something like a sport or like a field trip, like you really would want to do, like something that like would like you really like.
Mm-hmm.
It will make me want to come and do my work.
Succeed in life.
All right, thanks, guys. All right, let's see who's next. Jerry's doing a good job. Oh, well, Sousa mentioned they wanted to go next, so I'll choose Sousa.
Things that we new things that we like to have is like our water fountains, because most of our water fountains there are really damaged. We more
and like bathroom needs, like toilet tissue and like soap and paper towels, because like we don't have much of that in our school building. It's only one place we can get it, and it's not usually that much.
and we need better sports equipment.
All right. Sports and supplies. All right. Oh, lots of thumbs up on that.
I see those.
Okay. Yeah. Did you have a question or comment, Chancellor?
No, I'm just letting everyone know that we see the thumbs up.
Yeah, lots of thumbs up on sports equipment, I assume. Maybe toilet paper also. That should be there, guys. That some of these things we are taking notes on, and I need to pass it along to some of our facility friends. All right, Elliot Hine.
I think something new that we should offer is like after school hours, offering like maybe like small classes that we don't already have. Like, say somebody were into biology or something like that. And also like prioritizing organization and preparedness, because sometimes we don't know where we're supposed to go, or like some things can be like out of place or something.
Thank you, guys. I like that. I think is it Walker Jones in the chat that mentioned they wanted to go? Oh no, Brookland.
I would add like after extra after school activities, or like newer classes like cosmetology, or add like therapeutic sessions for students that have a hard time in school or even outside of school to encourage them to come to school more.
Okay. And for me, I would also, for our school, I would recommend revamping our uniforms, even though they are creative as they are right now. But I would revamp them.
You talking about your school uniforms?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so to be clear, great point. School uniform decisions are made by your principal and your school leadership. Those are not decisions that we make centrally.
So you can advocate to your principal.
Yes.
Who might be sitting next to you right now. Awesome. All right, thank you. Let's go ahead and go to Hart and then Hardy.
Okay. Some new things I would like to add to school are new courses like finance or like how to do your taxes. So once you graduate high school, you can like get a mortgage on a house, or you can rent an apartment, or you can get a job and know how to spend your money correctly and all that stuff. So you can have a successful life after. And if you decide to go to college or not, you can still be successful working a job.
That's great. We hear a lot about finance courses. I love to hear that you want them at at middle school also. All right, how about, I think Hardy, right, is next, and then I'll go with Wheatley after Hardy.
So in addition to the in-between classes I mentioned earlier, I think a great thing to have would be electives or clubs that after school that, for example, like would have competitions. For example, if many schools have art clubs or electives, there could be some art competitions, like visual art competitions or poems or whatever, like music competitions where different schools could compete and have little challenges to see which school this year has the most creative students as something of that sort. Another thing that I would really like to see would be electives or after school classes about school subjects that you're really interested in, so you could get a little boost. For example, if somebody is really interested in science, or specifically somebody mentioned earlier biology, they could take an extra class to learn more about biology and get a little boost, so when they go to next grade or high school, they would have quite a boost to pursue if that's the career they want. So, yeah.
Love that. All right, let's go ahead and go to Wheatley and then Walker Jones, and we'll do a few more. Wheatley first.
We think that the gyms should be separate from the cafeteria because people shouldn't have to use half of the gym to do PE during while other grades are having lunch.
Okay. Great, thank you guys. How about Walker Jones?
Some new I would add is esports and also therapy sessions for like the kids. They might have things going on at home they might want to talk about. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, esports is becoming a theme. Not surprising at all. All right, I'm gonna put the rest of the order. We're gonna go, let's go School Without Walls next, and then I'll put the rest of the schools, the order. Oops. There you guys go, School Without Walls.
And an increase in mental health staffing would be great because we have several friends in school seeking to talk with our counselors and social workers about life challenges they face, money, clothing, problems at home, or just like seeking guidance.
And supporting families with lower incomes, funding set aside to help families with financial need, school supplies, uniforms.
All right. All right, Johnson.
Go first. Okay, so one new thing I would prioritize for GCPS budget if I was you is a literacy lab, because some kids struggle with reading and like their vocabulary and like spelling and stuff. So like you could read books and study and stuff like that. And a dance studio, because we have cheerleaders and some girls are easily distracted with people that walk past or things that happen outside, because we like dance in like a room and it has like a big window. We can see everything that's going on outside. So like people can walk past and like people could walk outside like cars and stuff. So like easily distracted. I'm easily distracted.
What was the question again?
One new thing. The biggest thing you can think
all
of.
right. Okay. One new thing I would change. Well, I would want to see in the DCPS budget is like a program for the arts, basically, because like there's a lot of talented people that like to draw and paint and dance and stuff. So like a program basically. And no, I think I don't want to.
That's it.
All right. You can always chat us later if you don't want to speak to it now. All right. So let's go ahead. I forgot. I saw Ida B. Wells raise your hand, and you guys haven't gone yet. So let's get you before Brown, and then we'll finish out the other four. And for others, just please chat any comments since we're running out of time.
Hello, my name
Yeah.
is Tim Familia. So I think we should use a school budget to invest in monitoring systems, like the use of cameras, because sometimes people take photos of other people without permission. So I think that's an issue that needs to be addressed. And yeah.
Okay, great.
I think that we should also use the budget to prioritize after school activities such as sports like volleyball or like spelling bees or educational things.
Awesome. All right. Thank you, guys. All right. Let's go back to Brown. Oh, did you guys go? I don't think so.
We didn't go.
Okay, great. Thanks, guys.
So things that we need, like
Can I see?
yeah.
Things that we need is chairs in the auditorium, after school programs. If people don't want to play sports, don't go.
Mhm.
That'll be it.
Are your chairs broken? I've been to your auditorium.
Yeah,
It's a little bit.
some
Yeah.
of them are broken.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys have I know your auditorium well. Okay, how about Stuart Hobson?
I think better or more fun electives such as economics, fashion courses, cooking, interior design, and STEM classes would be helpful, and also to promote mental health and financial programs for students and families to make it more welcoming, even though it's there, but just to promote it better would be helpful as well.
Something else, a good course to add would be more world languages for us, because I think we just have Spanish right now, and to at least add something like French or Chinese and more popular spoken languages would be really cool. Even not as like a class, but just as like a club or something after school that people can join. Because I know in my elementary school they had a Norwegian club, so it's I think it would be a really cool thing to do, just to get people more successful in life by knowing more languages.
Great. I love that. All right, how about Deal? And then we'll end with Jefferson.
Thanks. One thing we feel is very important is field trips and like student engagement, because field trips help add a touch of more like interactivity with whatever we're learning. And it also helps make school more interesting, because that way we have something to look forward to that's out of the norm. So it's something that we remember. And if not possible, then like guest speakers, because sometimes guest speakers can be boring, but sometimes they can also be very interesting. And again, they help change up the normal course of the day, which is great.
And now whenever they ask for adults to come in for career day, I always think that like I would be so boring. So I never volunteer, but maybe I'll volunteer next time. All right, thanks, Deal. And let's go Jefferson next.
I feel as though that like I think a new thing should be like more security. Like we should like try to get more security in case of like a emergency situation where we would have to go into lockdown. Then the situation like it's escalated into like a dangerous situation, and if we get more security, then I feel like the situation would de-escalate faster and less students would be in danger of being hurt. I also think that there should be more enrichment classes because like we need a variety of different things to learn about because like I feel like some things can be born to students and they should be able to learn about things that they would want to do, like that they would want to do in general.
All right, great. All right. Well, I just wanted to leave a few minutes for us to wrap up and let the chancellor or even Superintendent Hughes just have any reflections on things that you heard here today. Our students, you guys were really thoughtful. You're really respectful of each other's time also. You listened to everyone and I really appreciate that. So Chancellor or Superintendent Hughes, if there's anything you'd love to close out with, would love to have you share a few words.
Yeah, thank you. Again, I appreciate all the students who gave us great things to think about. We're very responsive, and you raised a lot of topics that we are already thinking about. We've heard extracurricular clubs, things after school, sports, things that you enjoy to do. We also hear about food quality, facility issues, the ability for students to get additional academic support when they need it, all things that we're already thinking about. So it's great to hear confirmation that we're thinking about the right ways in which we can better support you. And the last thing I would encourage you to do is to continue to be a great student. If you showcase today that you have bright minds and good insights, and I hope that you will continue to use that knowledge and expertise in the classroom as you continue to learn and grow as DCPS students. So thank you again for your engagement today, and I wish you the best and happy holidays.
Bye.
All right,
Bye.
guys.
Have a good
Thanks again.
afternoon.
Have a great winter break.
Bye,
Happy holidays. Goodbye.
You too. One more
Thank
week.
you, Taylor.
See you guys later.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone.